I get the same question over and over again. What is prison food actually like? Is it enjoyable? Do they feed you enough? Does it taste bland? Does it taste good? In this video here, I'm going to be giving you the full prison food breakdown. All the way from the differences of how it is inside confinement, the differences of how it is on the compound, the differences between the diets that they give out, all that. Comparing prison food to jail food to let you know what the difference is, just in case you may ever be facing some time. Prison food isn't something that you want to eat for the rest of your life. Shit, there's been times that I went months without even going to the chow hall, living out my locker, eating straight canteen, corner store food. Why? Because it ain't nothing to enjoy. Shit, even MREs are luxury compared to prison food.
Hold down, man. Suitcase this, my cell phone and my charger. Don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
The department prepares approximately 230,000 meals per day, or approximately 90 million meals annually. The meals are produced in 123 kitchens located in major institutions, annexes, work camps, and other facilities throughout the state. What's up, everybody? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead, hit that like, subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Y'all can also check me out on KFROG Gaming if you want to see me on a day-to-day basis. I'll be streaming. But anyways, for this video here, a lot of people been asking me about prison food. You know, all the prison channels make videos making prison food. I did it myself also. But for this one here, I'm going to break it down to y'all. The whole breakdown to prison food. Okay? Now, it isn't something you want to get used to eating. It isn't something that you will enjoy. It's just something that you got to put in your stomach when it's given to you. Like I said in prior videos, you eat on their time. Everything is on their time. No matter what it is. Whatever is given to you is what you're going to have to eat. Or you're going to starve if you don't eat at all. So, number one, jail food and prison food are totally different. When you're in the county jail and they, you know, it's time to eat chow. You know, they give you them big old weefy trays. You know what I'm saying? They be watered down a lot, but they do be weefy, especially in confinement. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the box down here in Broward County. Them trays be way weefier, which means they got more weight to them than the regular ones they give you inside of, you know, your dorms, inside of your quads, you know. But one thing about jail food and prison food is you'll gain weight in jail. You go to prison, you ain't gonna gain no weight. Literally. Unless you're eating more than they're giving you. Unless you're consuming more than what is accessible. Now, in the county jail, when it's time to eat food, they bring it to you. All you got to do is show up. Prison, your ass got to go to the chow hall. It's all on you. You don't make it through them doors before they close them doors, your ass ain't eating. They don't like how long your hair is or your beard or your mustache. They tell you go to the barbershop, cut it. Maybe you'll have enough time to go eat chow. You know, it's more of a responsibility. In the county, they bring that shit to you. Prison, boy, you got to walk across the compound and go get it. That's how it is. But is it really worth going to get? To me, like I said, I've went months without eating chow. Living off the food I had in my locker. I've also had it to where I had to go to chow because I didn't have shit in my locker. Now, some of the trays they give you when you're in prison down here in the state of Florida for breakfast, number one thing you got to get used to is coffee cake, oatmeal, yellow grits, pancakes are on Mondays, things like that. Biscuits. If you get to a good camp, the biscuits they give you, they call them cat heads because of how big they'll be. But it depends if they're giving you the regular biscuits or if they give you the pan biscuits. You know? Now, after a while, that shit all gets tiring. I've been to camps where the biscuits were like this big a piece. I've been to camps where the biscuits were like this big a piece. So it all just depends. Everyone loves coffee cake. Yeah, you love it until you're forced to eat it so many times. When I was in Charlotte, CI, their menu, boy, they didn't even follow the menu. They gave you coffee cake 4 times a week. 4 times a week for breakfast, you were getting coffee cake. On Monday, you're supposed to get pancakes. They give you 2 big-ass, like, circle-ish pancakes with a dab of syrup. And that syrup has got so much sugar in it and calories. That's the only reason they add it to the plate, just to make it to where it seems like you consumed enough calories. You see what I'm saying? Because they hand out anywhere from 2,000 to 2,762 calories per day. That's what their day-to-day, handout is. Unless you're like someone on a higher diet, 2,800, calories, like people that got dialysis, need dialysis trays and stuff like that. Then you also have the people who get special diets, like CFO, which is certified food option. They don't get the regular food like inmates who ain't on a diet get. That could be for like a religious reason, or as far as like it's all kosher items, but they get like sardines, they get like carrots, tomatoes, a cup with beans in it. It's all packaged stuff, comes in a brown paper bag. Okay, that's CFO. Then they have RDP, which is Religious Diet Program, where they get basically the same thing CFO gets. They just changed the name from RDP to CFO. Now, as far as lunch, one of the most common things that you're going to get used to eating in prison for lunch is yakisobe. If y'all don't know what that is, look it up. Yakisobe is like a noodle mixture they give you. It's got carrots and supposed to be meat and cabbage and all this stuff in it. But one thing about prison food, and I seen it with my own eyes, worked in the kitchen, is they don't give you meat. They give you soy. Soy is actually a meat extender. It's supposed to make up for the amount of meat that you should have in a dish. It's supposed to, it's a substitute. You add it to a little bit of meat so that way it eventually fills the portions that you're supposed to have. In Florida, all you get is the soy. Your whole meal will be that soy meat. I've been in the kitchen before and seen big old metal trays of it with big old blocks of it. Looks like a big old thing of sand. Imagine wet sand, how it looks. That's how it all looks. Flies all on that shit and everything. And they got it sitting over there in the corner. And they'll take a big old chunk out of it to throw into this meal. And it'll still be sitting there. You go to work tomorrow, see it's still sitting there with flies all on it. Then they take a big old chunk out of it this time for today's meals. That's soy. Now they have it to where on Thursdays, you do get a real beef patty. Everything else has been straight soy. Everyone knows Tuesdays is chicken day. That's the best day. That's the best thing everyone looks forward to. After sitting in the county jail down here in Broward for so long, you can't wait to get some chicken on the bone. Because they don't give you stuff like that. They give you like chili. They give you beef macaroni. They give you chicken a la king. They give you just different things like that down here in the county jail. But for breakfast and lunch, you're getting straight cold meals down here in the Broward County Jail. For breakfast, they grit you to death and oatmeal you to death. They literally, it goes from grits, the next day oatmeal. The next day grits, the next day oatmeal. All the way through the week, it never changes. Okay? They probably give you like 2 boiled eggs 1 day a week, which I believe is Sundays, or 2 days a week, Sundays and Wednesdays, and then everything else is just 2 pieces of bologna with the oatmeal, with the jelly pack, and 3 pieces of bread. And they give you this every single day. They call that 3-2-1 because you get 3 pieces of bread, 2 pieces of meat, and 1 either grit or oatmeal. Now, As far as like for lunches in the county jail, it's always cold cuts. It's bologna, cheese, every single day except for the same 2 days when it's egg day for breakfast, which would be Sundays and Wednesdays when I was in there. They give you peanut butter and jelly. So you get cold sandwiches for breakfast and lunch every single day of the week in Broward County. Dinner time is when they give you the meals that I named. Okay? You will gain weight and stuff in there. It's brought to you. You ain't got to do nothing, no responsibilities. But like I said, in prison, your ass got to go get it. They yell over the intercom, last call for child, last call for child. You see the whole dorm just straight run out the door, piling through that door. That door close on you, you got officers that don't even want to repop that door for you just to be dickheads. Okay? Now, back to prison. Prison lunches, you know, it isn't sandwiches. You're going to go so long without sandwiches in there that it feels good when they actually give you a sandwich, which they do give you a bologna sandwich on the menu. I believe it's once every 2 weeks. So that's 2 times a month. They do give you a bologna sandwich. One time it's for lunch, the next time it's for dinner within that month. Now, all it is a scoop of black beans, a piece of bologna, 2 pieces of bread, and yellow grits. That's what your meal is, whether it's for lunch or dinner, when they do give you the cold cut. You feel me? But as far as all the other meals, you know, they're giving you like typical shit. Patties. The patties they give you are all soy. They're not beef except for Thursdays, the beef patty. You can tell the difference just by looking at it. One looks like a hamburger from Burger King, the patty. The other one is a straight square like this, and it's a totally different color. You know? Now, when they have patty day, they run out of food so quick. Because people be, you know, stealing them, smuggling them, bringing them back to the dorm, selling them. $2 a sandwich, $2 a sandwich. That's people's hustle. You know, they give you hot dogs all the time. Hot dogs and baked beans are the main thing that they give you. If they run out of chicken on chicken day, they're either going to give you a patty or hot dogs. You know? And hot dogs are a thing that, you know, fill you up as well. When you go to these lines to get you, when you go to get your food, you can get an alternate, which means if you don't want what they're giving you, they'll just bean you to death. Because beans, like refried beans, like from Taco Bell, those are the main things that are on almost all your plates in prison. It doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They'll throw beans on there. Except for what they like to give you a lot also is scalloped potatoes. Now, you know scalloped potatoes on the street are good as hell. Cheesy scalloped potatoes, the ones that are cut in little slices. They got cheese and shit. They give you those in prison for breakfast. They potato you to death at breakfast time. But those are just sliced like that, and they're dry. You can pick them up individually. You know? They expect you to get shit like that. Then they give you this little nasty shit on the side, like a gravy. And then your biscuits. So everyone breaks all the biscuits up on top of the potatoes, throws the gravy in there and shit. They call it shit on a shingle. Shit on a shingle is what they call it. You feel me? But to me, all that shit is bland and nasty as hell. Like I said, I've passed so many times on going to chow. I would go to chow at breakfast time just to get the banana or the orange that they give you on Sundays. Literally, I walk through, get the whole tray, boom, 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 and give it to one of my dogs and clear it. Go back to the dorm and go to sleep. If I even felt like getting up and going down there. I've made it in my mind to where I'm going to chow in the morning. Hundreds of times. And when they turn the lights on, wake everybody up to go to chow, man, I ain't going to chow. You're going to rather go without eating than eat that shit. I would never want to go back to prison and have to eat it again. But I would if I had to. You understand? Now, the reason that I spoke on MREs, because a lot of people were comparing military food to prison food. Which me, being a convict, I feel like military should be eating better than inmates. Which they are. Okay? Now, the only meal that is kind of bad when it comes to military is MREs. That's the only thing that tastes, you know, on a lower level compared to everything else they eat. But on these bases where these people go and shit like that, they're eating lovely. My main homeboy on the streets, Pistol P, he went to the Marines for 5 years. So I was speaking to him about it, asking him what he ate in there. How was their food? You know? And he broke it down to me that they have a chow hall, basically. He was in Cali, Afghan, and Nicaragua, Japan, or something like that. Nicaragua, however you say it. He was in those 3 places. He broke it down to me that they feed you lovely in there. That he feels like inmates should get better food. And I said, yeah. He said, yeah. That at the end of the month, they take anywhere from $150 to $200 from your check, regardless, for the chow hall food that they supply. You feel me? So he says, you might as well eat it. So I said, what's it like when you go in there? He told me, well, when you go in there, it's all you can eat. They're supposed to keep track on it 3 times a day. Like, you're allowed to go in there and eat 3 times a day. It's all you can eat, but you can only get one thing at a time when you go. Like, if you go there and they got chicken, fish, steak, you can get 1. They won't give you 2 steaks, 2 chickens. You can get 1 and then go eat and then come back and hit again. He said, but you're allowed to do it 3 times a day. But they don't keep tabs on it. Like in prison, you're only allowed 1 tray per time. 3 trays a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And they keep tabs on it. They scan your ID and all that. There's ways around it, to try to sneak back in line, try to buck them and not let them see your ID, tell them you don't have an ID, give them someone else's name or number that that could be in confinement. Someone could be in confinement, their DC number, you can give it to them. You can give them the number right there and they'll be like, all right. And then they just type it in and then go. Different ways. But you see people going to confinement left and right for stealing extra trays in prison because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? The shit ain't worth eating and they don't feed you enough. They feed you just enough that just to hold you over till the next meal. But you're going to be going to sleep with your stomach touching your back. That's how it is. So he said that, they allow it to where 3 times a day, but you can get it in more than that. I said, for real? He said, yeah. I said, all right, what's it like when you was in Afghan? He said, Afghan, Camp Leatherneck is where he was at. He said, man, they fed me lovely out there. I said, yeah. He said, man, on Fridays and Saturdays, they got lobster and shrimp and steak. He said it was a huge tent about the size of a Walmart. He says, all day, you get as much as you want. You tell them, keep going, and they just keep filling it up. He says they had the hot food section and they had the cold cut section. He says that was the best place they ever fed him was out there in Afghan, which I felt like that's great. He deserves it. So does all other soldiers that went to war, for our country. And then I asked him, what about in Japan? He said Japan was like the same thing, but it wasn't, you had to get one and then go eat and come back and get it again, stand in line again, all over again. I said, oh, okay, so it's kind of like when you buy batteries in prison. At the canteen window, they only allow you to get 2 packs. But after you buy the 2 packs, you can go stand in line again, come back up, buy 2 packs again. But they won't sell you 4 right then and there. Like that. So the military eats better than inmates, which they deserve. And this is coming from me. The only thing that is kind of on the downside, like I said, is MREs. Prison food is worse than MREs. For anyone who's been to the military and has ate an MRE, some of them are good. Some taste better than the other. Some people like them, some people don't. Prison food is something that I feel like they definitely need to work on. Okay? When you go to the chow hall and it's time to eat chow, they're going to make you fill the tables up. When you sit there, down here in Florida, you're going to see season packs all on tables. Season packs are going to be laying everywhere because everyone brings their soup seasonings to chow because of how bland the food is. It all tastes the same. Every day, it doesn't matter if they switch the meal up or not. It all tastes the same. Straight up. When you're in the county jail, majority of the food they give you is slop. Slop trays. Like you get spaghetti and it's like a soup. You get macaroni and cheese, it's like a soup. Same thing with the macaroni and beef. Beef macaroni. Soup, it's like a slop. They give you 2 cookies on every tray. in Broward County Jail. Every single day you get 2 cookies on your dinner tray. In prison, they give you cakes. 9 times out of 10, depending on what camp you're at, the cakes may not even have icing on them. I've been in camps to where it's just the cake with no icing. So they pan baked all the cakes and they just cut it in cubes and give it to you. It looks like cornbread, but really it's just cake. Then I've also been in camps to where they do put icing on it, you know. But the icing ain't nothing but butter mixed with sugar. You feel me? They'll throw different colors in there and shit too. They'll make it look like it's something special, and it ain't. Or they'll tell you, we got brownies for dinner. So you like, hell yeah. Next thing you know, you go get your tray, and it's just a black chocolate piece of cake batter cut up. No icing. That's the brownie. That shit don't taste like a brownie. That shit don't taste like nothing. It just tastes like some bread. You feel me? And then when you're in confinement down here in Florida, when they give you your food, your trays, a lot of them be skimp as hell. You already don't get enough to eat as it is. Or you'll get blessed and you'll get one that's weefy. Like they doubled that one up, but then they took some off the other one. Your bread laying all in your vegetables. So when you grab your 2 pieces of bread, the bottom one is fully soaked in vegetable juice. You know, if there is icing on the cake, it's stuck to the roof of the bottom of the tray that was on top of it. So when they take it and give you your tray, you don't want to put your tray on your lap when you go to sit down and eat by your bed, or if you sit on the toilet and eat, because under the tray is all the icing of the tray that was under it, and it'll get on your shorts. You know what I'm saying? Now, if someone goes to chow every single day, eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner, will they gain weight? They'll probably just stay the same size, unless you were someone that did drugs on the streets. If you did drugs on the streets and you weren't eating, of course you'll gain weight. A lot of people that go to prison gain weight that were users on the streets, that didn't get enough food on the streets. They will gain weight. But when you got someone who wasn't on drugs, someone who ate good on the streets, like that, ate whatever they want when they wanted, they go up the road, they gonna lose weight. Like I did. Me, I was fat as hell before I went to prison. Went up the road, I'd eat everything I get my hands on. Still lose weight. I was spending over $100 a week on canteen, using my whole 100 on my card, and sometimes I'd drop bread in one of my homeboys' account just to get a whole nother 100 in my, canteen in my locker. Shit like that. The way the prison food is given out and the way how shitty it is when it comes together, you sacrifice. A bag of chips ain't as good as for you as a whole meal. But at the end of the day, the shit they're giving out isn't worth eating. You know? And that's me. That's how I feel. Because no matter what it is, people always want a honey bun. People always feel like that honey bun will hit that spot compared to that damn dinner tray. It's to the point to where if they're giving out extra trays, a lot of people don't even want it. The county jail is different. They're giving out extra trays, but people up there, they want that because them shits taste decent. But in prison, people don't want that. People don't want it because the way it tastes, they don't put enough effort in it. Unless you get sent to a camp where them chefs throw down now, where them, because it's inmates that work in that kitchen. You get some places where them inmates whip that shit up like they cooking it for theyself, and it be fire. Sometimes you go to a camp and it'll be barbecue chicken instead of just regular baked chicken. They'll put barbecue sauce on it. They'll bless the compound. You know? They're supposed to give out Mexican pizzas down here in the state of Florida. That's on the list. I got that shit 2 times ever in my bid. 2 times ever. You'll go there and it's hot dogs. They always, they never made the Mexican pizza. Why? Because probably didn't know how to whip it right. But the 2 times we got it, it was just like a thick-ass piece of bread with some sauce and some hard shredded cheese on top. Didn't even melt. So when you pick it up and you bite it, all the cheese is falling off. You hear it landing all on your tray. They don't put enough effort into it. And the money that they get from inmates, I feel like they should. But at the end of the day, not all people in prison deserve to enjoy themselves. You understand? There's some people that didn't mean no harm that are in there falsely accused or, had a mess up in life and things like that. So I understand that not everyone deserves to be treated good in there. You know, but not everyone deserves to be treated bad. But by the way that they feed inmates, they have it to where the bad people and the people who don't deserve to be in there get fed the same bullshit. Everyone gets the same. You know what I'm saying? And they try to take child so serious too when you're in there. You could be sitting in there, they catch you talking to the child, but they tell you, go, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll tell you, okay, you're not going to chow. And who gives a, you know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't worth going anyways. You know what today is? Like, for real, that's how it is. Tuesday's the number one day. They lock the pound down. They have the officers standing like over 100 yards apiece. They got little, you know, like pit stops to where the officers search everyone on their way back. So they know, because people are going to be taking that chicken back to the dorm and selling it. Chicken day is the main day, Tuesdays. And it doesn't matter where you land at in the state of Florida. I can't speak on any other state. But in the state of Florida, that menu is the same. So if I get transferred from this camp and go through this reception center and then get transferred to this reception center and then go land at this camp, I'm going to know what is going to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the way through. The menu doesn't change. If Tuesday, we're all eating chicken around the whole state of Florida. And that's how it is. So when you land at a pound or you're in confinement or anything, you already know what to expect and what it is you're going to receive when you land at the new place. And on Tuesdays, confinement, don't get chicken. All you smell is chicken when you're in the box on Tuesdays. Everybody goes crazy. Everybody's hungry as hell. And then they send back there either hot dogs or a soy patty. That is like a privilege to get chicken on Tuesdays. You know? It's kind of crazy if you think about it. But as y'all seen from the little clips that I put in here, I showed y'all what coffee cake looked like and what the meat and rice tray looks like. And that's when I was in confinement. You'll get coffee cakes, oatmeal, this watered down juice, because the juice they give you is supposed to be like a nectar, but they water it down to stretch it. So it's like a watered down apple juice. And then you get a scoop of margarine and a little squirt of jelly on your tray for breakfast with coffee cakes. Some be like this thick, big ass pieces of coffee cake, which I can understand those are pretty good. You pour the oatmeal on it and it's a wrap. But some be thin as hell, trash, you know. The rice ones. The rice tray that y'all seen, the little clip I put in. That one there. Majority of that rice is soaking in water. Okay? When I was at Charlotte, they got a lot of donations from different things. A lot of that food was donated. Different things they give out. You know, that's why they constantly give you things that ain't on the canteen menu. You know, like saltine crackers. You'll go there, and when you get your tray, you pull your tray out the flat, there'll be a whole sleeve of saltine crackers. Everybody got their own sleeve of saltine crackers for like 5 weeks straight, because they had pallets of crackers that was donated to them. Around Halloween time, they had the little small Snickers with the little football teams on it and everything that they were giving out to everybody. A couple of those thrown on your tray. But then they got tired of everyone stealing them and everything with the wrappers and stuff. So they literally opened them individually and would drop 2 of them on your tray. You know? But it still isn't enough to hold someone over. You know? And they're the type of trays that you get tired of looking at. All the bread they give you different type of bread and shit. And it's just nasty. Like, you'll be sitting in there eating, and then you'll get down to more than half of your sandwich. And then when you finally take a look at it, because you were talking to your bunkie, so when you finally take a look at it, you'll realize that whole bottom piece of bread was straight mold. So then you're like, what the? Even though it was still good and you wasn't complaining, you know what I'm saying? It still got you, like, what the? Like, damn. Like, because the way that they break the food down isn't where it's at. And I just felt like speaking on it. If I ever had to go back to prison, which I pray I don't, I'm on the right path, I would hate to have to eat it again. That is something I feel like someone shouldn't eat. It's like you took a shit on a plate and handed it to someone. So anyone who's young, anyone who ain't never been to prison, or anyone who's on a bad path, just think about it, boy, because that ain't a place you want to land up. Straight up. But I appreciate y'all watching this video. Try to break down the food to y'all as much as I can. Compare it to different places, stuff. But you already know, man. Until next time, bro.